Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, Coffee Tea Paper. I am starting a new little series with you guys that I thought you might be interested in, and that is I'm going to do not a complete flip through, but just a bit of a flip through and a bit of a look at and a talk about some of the books that I find particularly inspiring or interesting or helpful when it comes to journaling. And I thought we'd start today with this Traveler's Notebook book. It's a bit of a tricky one because it is all in Japanese. I still haven't finished reading the entire book myself because I have to go in and look at it with Google Translate, and sometimes it's not the best, so then I look and see if I can get a different translation to grasp the meaning a bit more clearly. But I do love looking at all the pictures in it. Like a small child with my favorite picture book. This is very much in the vein of that for me. I love my traveler's notebooks. For me, the inspiration behind journaling and has been with me since I was a small child, and this whole system just really resonates with me. So I thought I would like to start off with this book. Now I have some notes off to the side, so if I sound like I'm reading, it's because I am, not at the moment, but once we get into the book. So because this is a Japanese book, Japanese writing is the opposite to English. So you start with the what we would think as the back cover and work your way from right to left rather than from left to right, which is another reason why I really enjoy it, but it does take time for me to go through. So it's got this lovely dust cover on it. They brought this book out for their 15th anniversary, which was in 2021, I think. It's just got the most beautiful imagery in it. And a lot of these covers you can actually see in person in their Travelers Factory stores. I've been to the one in Tokyo train station a few times. I've been to the one in Kyoto once, and their original one in Nakameguro once as well. And so I think this page says, get to know Traveler's Note. You can write about what you like, customize it to your liking, and a single notebook can broaden your world and make you feel excited. What exactly is this mysterious and fascinating Traveler's Notebook? First, let's take a closer look. Then it has the table of contents, which is quite interesting because the English is kind of like we would read it like that, but the Japanese text is reading down. So it goes through with the what is the Traveler's Notebook, the history. We'll have a look a bit like that, and then it they've interviewed different users of the notebook and what they use it for, which is really interesting, and we'll have a look at one of those in depth. And then the factory where they manufacture it in Chiang Mai, and some other products, some collaborations that they had up to this point in 2021. There's been many more since, and some look at customizing. Look at the patina on that one. Beautiful. Okay, So these pages, it's about getting to know the traveler's notebook. So it sort of has all little boxes about different, I guess, reasons why you might want to use one. So experience the world of notes, tools to help you spend your daily life as a traveler. A rustic cover, handmade in Thailand. The cowhide cover is handmade in Chiang Mai. The vegetable tanned leather has a natural texture that improves with continued use, and even scratches become part of the character. Yeah, you got to embrace it. Maybe there is a mysterious power. This notebook in your hand, it's like going on a journey to an unknown world. It's interesting that people who use this notebook tend to have similar views. The wide variety of refills is attractive. Made in Japan with a focus on ease of writing, there are cases and pockets to increase storage. There are no rules on how to use it. It's a simple cover with refills and a highly flexible format. Add charms and customize to your liking. That's what I've done here. Used all over the world, the joy of writing in a notebook transcends borders, and celebrated 15 years in 2021. In the stationery industry, where products are constantly changing, it is still a popular staple. And this beautiful imagery of this notebook somewhere out in the world with the sun setting or rising. Yeah, it's lovely. Then it goes through the history. So when it was first brought onto the market, and then some special editions that have come out and collaborations, and when the Nakameguro store opened in 2011, and then some special ones like the Star Ferry collab in Hong Kong, and the one with the Taiwanese beer company, the special 10th anniversary celebrations, when the blue edition became part of the permanent lineup, the Traveller's Factory store in, where's that one? Is that one in Kyoto? Or is that, no, that one, oh, I think that might be the one in Tokyo train station. I've been there, you think I'd recognize it. And then some other collabs here. And then the B-sides and rarities, which came out in 2021. And then it goes on to talk about users' notebook style, and we meet all different people. This person, he uses it for music, and he's doing a bit of sketching there. And this one, it says half-time of life, which sounds a bit dire, but I think the gist of it, from what I gather, is that he's using it for reflective purposes, to reflect on what he's done, but also to leave a bit of a record behind, though quite frankly he doesn't really look that elderly to me, I feel. And the other part of it is down here in the question and answer section. They ask each of the users like how long they've been using the notebook system for. If they went to a desert island, what else would they take with them apart from their traveler's notebook, and other things that they like to use in conjunction with their traveler's notebook, which is, you know, really interesting as well. This person, they've focused on travel as their theme. So you can see just these beautiful glimpses of different people's covers and pages and their other favorite things to use with their notebook. And I thought we'd have a look at this one together. just clip those pages down. So I thought we'd have a look at this this particular user, and this is focusing on Hitoshi Kono, and he is the CEO of a Jimny parts manufacturer. And the Jimny is a type of very compact four-wheel drive. If you don't have them in your country, you don't see them very often in Australia. People tend to like big cars here, but they are around, and he uses it as an illustrated diary. He looks very friendly, doesn't he? So this picture here from the right, these are his 3 of his journals. This is his Forest Road notebook, and this is his reading diary, and this is his 1 square per day picture diary, which he says creates a momentary sensation and a colourful day. So then this is a bit of a transcript of the interview that took place with Kono-san, and it says, "Since keeping a notebook, I clearly understand the direction of my curiosity and what I like. When I get to a place, I keep notes, receipts, labels, etc., and then review them later. This is when the fun begins. I open my traveler's notebook, I draw a map, write in the spaces, and paste in illustrations that I drew. The things I saw, ate, bought, the smells, the atmosphere, the expressions and words of people, all the memories of my travels come back to me." The daily illustrated diary is the true essence of Kono-san. Around 5 or 6 in the morning, he sits in front of his notebook and he recalls the events of the previous day. In his hand is a cigar model Nakaya fountain pen with a lacquer finish and thread winding. The letters in the cornered square, this is way too small here, but the letters in the cornered squares are tiny and artisanal. And this is his sort of like everyday carry, I guess you would call it. And he has a bag that was a collab between Appio, which I think might be the brand of parts that he is the CEO of. I'm not quite sure. Of course, one of his journals and his other items. And when he has the question and answer, he says he has, like, how long has he been using the traveler's notebook? And he's been using it for over 10 years. And if he went to a desert island, what would he take as well as his traveler's notebook? And he says that he would take Yoshio Kataoka's books. So I gather that he is a Japanese author. I think he's, from what I've tried to understand, I think he writes like mindfulness books or those sorts of things. And his favourite things to use are fountain pens, coloured pencils, and watercolour pans. Here we have some more beautiful pictures of him working in his daily diary. Just the size of his little doodles, and his writing is just so intricate and yes, beautiful. And then a collection here of his journals, and it says, "The random stickers and many scratches on these covers are part of Kono-san's history. He had the nib of his fountain pen adjusted to ultra fine, specifically to write in this diary. And every time he turns the page, his favourite things jump out at him. And he says to the interviewer, he gets quite a surprise. He said, 'I've eaten Kyokan shumai 5 times this month.'" And finally, he has some recommendations for other users of the Traveler's Notebook. And he says that his favourite refill is the lightest paper refill. He then showed the interviewer a page in his notebook when he was reading a book called, and this is a title that I would never have picked off the shelf myself, but How to Optimize Yourself in the Age of Wind. I mean, wow. And whilst reading that book and working in his journal, he'd written back to basics many, many times. And this book got him thinking about back when he was a child and his father would go fishing and he would go with his father and he would sit and draw many pictures, and he could see himself reflected in his journal pages now of the young Kono and the origin of his illustrated diary that he now keeps. And I thought that was just really, really lovely. His story and the way he uses his inserts. And so that was just looking at one of the users that they focus on. This next one, he apparently is a comedian, so, and from what I gather, I think he keeps notes on skits and routines and things, and what works and what hasn't worked for him, I guess, as a comedian. And you can see his sort of tools are quite, and the way he uses it's very functional. And then it's interesting because then we meet this next user who uses them as scrapbooks, and his are just so detailed, and I wish these pictures were bigger because there's just so much going on here, but I would love to have a look at all the really small details here. Here's his little kit that he has with him with washi tapes and different types of pens and markers. And look, this is all his inserts here. He's done stamping on his cover, and you can see here, like, I think this is still what he would take on his desert island, and he's put in iPhone here and things that he likes to use with his journal here, which is an Instax. So like he obviously likes to print out pictures and things to use in his journals as well. This next chapter is on personalize, and it just has so many gorgeous, gorgeous pictures of people's pen collections, covers inside their pages. Just, oh, amazing, amazing. This fellow's a coffee roaster, and he's obviously keeping his as a wallet, as many people do. And a bit of watercolor there, and a cartoonist. Foodie life, childcare diary, travel. Another mix of photos, sketches, all sorts of things. And then it goes into the last section here, which is looking at where they're actually manufactured and the wonderful people who bring us our traveler's notebook covers are the ones who cut them out and put in the elastics and hammer on those these things on the back and so forth. And this is the refills here, and some, I think this is some letterpress and some gilding when you get the gilded covers, like this sort of finish. And then a look at the stores. So the one in Nakameguro here, look at the different travelers' times over the years. I don't have many of them, but the ones I do, I like looking through them as well. And then I look at the covers and what was available at the time. Of course, now they've also added the olive as a regular standard cover as well. All the refills that were available at the time. So all the options for customization, charms, washi tapes, pen loops, clips. Ooh, it's a bit of a funny moment, isn't it? Collaborations, Star Ferry, To and Fro, the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, Pan Am, and of course the ones that have come out since, such as the Hotel Kania and the Superior Labour, and the special editions like Tokyo and Moomin and all those sorts of ones as well. And here's a little look at some suggestions for customizing with charms. This was from a keychain from a mountain climb that this person did. This was a concho that was gifted to them. This was picked up from I think they went to a frog park or something. This one, which we're probably all quite familiar with, the bear that comes out every year around Christmas time. And here, just an old label from a pair of Levi jeans, which I thought was quite fun. And here's some more examples here. Customizing with paint. Here he is doing it. All just so many variations on such a simple idea, I guess. And in the back, which I just can't bring myself to pull out or use, is a set of glossy stickers of Traveler's Notebook stickers. One day I might bring myself to use them. We'll see. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that flip through and little look at in detail some of the pages there. And let me know, do you have this book? Is this something that you would purchase for inspiration, or is the fact that it's in Japanese just a little bit too much hard work? If they brought one out, because let's see, it's 18 years, I'd love to see if they would bring out a revised English edition as well as Japanese edition, maybe for their 20th anniversary in a couple of years' time. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Next time we might have a look at this one called Sketch Your World, a guide to sketch journaling, and this is by another Japanese person, Kimiko Sekimoto. And yeah, we'll have a look at that one in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you want to see some more journaling books that I enjoy and would like to share with you, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!